everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup should be interesting. The Cowboys lead the league in first downs, and they'll be up against the Lions defense that will be fighting hard to quickly get off the field. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A moment ago, the Cowboys introduced to this gigantic crowd, and as usual, it was old number 88, Dez Bryant, that got the folks going the loudest. His guys are set to go head-to-head with the Detroit Lions. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
It's week 17, Brandon, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's not going to win the MVP award. But that doesn't mean to me that he shouldn't get strong consideration. I think he's been terrific this year.
He has, and I think the highest praise came from the coaching staff, telling us that he's been more vital to our team than any other quarterback in the league. If your coaches are saying that, you feel pretty good.
Yeah, I actually heard from an opposing coach earlier this week where he said, look, he's not going to win it, but he should. He's been the best player we played against this season.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And now the offense for Detroit.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. For Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And this one is incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Here's Elliott. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Safe completion on 3rd. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now it's Tate. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both.
And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. The defense blitzed. They got to him, but a good job. He just hung in there, took the hit, completed the long pass.
Everything's not going to be perfect every time you throw the ball. You're not going to pick up every blitzer. You're not going to be untouched in the pocket. Remember the Rams of the early 2000s?
Oh, yeah.
They always asked their quarterback to be the last line of blitz control, which means stand in the pocket, take the hit, and deliver strikes downfield.
I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their block.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. On 2nd down, Elliott. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this one caught by Dez Bryant. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. The carry. Here's Smith. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he'll be knocked down sideways, right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
So after that stop, you know that 3rd down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll run it now with Smith. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, last drive they went 3 and out.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down.
A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he's going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't...
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Elliott, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Let's go. No. Check. Patriots.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Sometimes one little event in a play, it can throw everything off, like the butterfly effect. I think that's what we saw that time.
Yeah, you're talking about he gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That throws the play awry, so now he's got to exit out of the pocket. And just think, if he doesn't have that happen, maybe the play goes the way he wants to, and he's able to get a completion downfield. In this case, incomplete pass.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. On the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going right side, he has Witten. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They'll run it with Elliott. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
I tell you, on that first glance, I thought he got it easily. But the mark was not a real favorable one. As it turns out, they do give him the 1st down, but that was very close to going the other way.
They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he rifles one incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wondering about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Akeem Spence able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30. Back out of that Philly, here we go. Over.
They're going to look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Stafford now to throw. And Tate's got it. 30. 10. 5. Touchdown. Detroit. Golden Tate, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds an opening past the 40. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll set up a throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Here we go now. Clean up. All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56. All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Stafford finding his big tight end Ebron for a Lion first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
False start, offense.
That's going to set up. Play action. Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Sean Lee. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Looking downfield for... And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And that goes for a gain of 31.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
His throw incomplete.
Now, that's absolutely terrific technique right there by the corner. Exhibit A. Zone coverage, knew where his man was in relation to the football at all times, and made a nice play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
And they'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got to...
Here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They go back to Riddick. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
A minute 52 left to play in this second quarter. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick throw. That's complete on the inside slant. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. They'll look to throw now on first down. Out left side here to Bryant. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, he obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Leopard.
Back to throw now on first down. His pass caught at the 4. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Here's Riddick. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Beasley now to return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So we've come upon half. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show, so we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now it's the backup Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On third down, Elliott. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Here's Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now the second-year man from South Dakota State, it's Zach Zenner. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Beasley. When it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Stafford on 1st down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Hitchens coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he is knocked down and then landed on pretty awkwardly right near the 27.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yard. On the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And it's taken in at the 9. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Paul Warlow leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Flushed out right. They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Forced out to his left. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it?
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Here's a look at Golden Tate as he heads back onto the field now. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll look to set up his blockers. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. A second down throw for Prescott. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now a handoff working right. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to pump the ball. They've done so with that first run.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. He's at the 40, 20, 10. good. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Jones, 95 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That good for 19 and a first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. On first down, it's Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
1st and 10. Stafford. Ebron's got it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Stafford looks to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd and short.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And Tate's got it. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Back to throw. Stafford. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be...
And it'll be intercepted. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bryant. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it. They'll run it here with Smith. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
As a running back here, you've got to do everything in your power to sell out for the first down. And he takes that to heart as he's going to dive his way forward, and he earns his mates a new set of downs.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now Prescott got his man complete over the middle. It's Bryant. A gain of 6 there on first. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Tough to bring Bryant down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Going to give this time to the tailback. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down.
Let's go!
They'll go with a keeper. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw left side, caught by Butler. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
If you're a wide receiver, and they call a screen pass, you're counting on some people being out in front of you blocking. But that play was well diagnosed by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, and they got there and swarmed and finished off the play.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Here's Prescott. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On second down, Prescott again. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. On third down, it's Prescott. Rolling to his right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off down near the 5. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line. And that's where the return stops. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them. Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Second and 10, Stafford again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to have a third down. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. Now Stafford, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. And he connects with Ebron. The 40. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
They are on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And the 49ers have scored to swing back in front. Jimmy Garoppolo, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
A gain of 6 there on first. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Well, Prescott here to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Dallas, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.